also get some bed music in the background too. I'll let you all know when we're live.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, Taters, what's up? This is Tree. I'm here with the girls. We just started a conversation prior to. Oh, let me turn that music down. It's too loud. Hold on a second. Oh, that's real loud. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. We were talking about a subject prior to coming online. So I'll go ahead and start it all over again. So I was saying that I am subscribed to Brittany's channel, and I was looking at one of her recent video, not the recent video. And I can't find it again because of all these because of all these tabs I have open. Oh, here we go. Uh, I was looking at her video called "Forever Alone: Why Aren't People Dating Anymore?" And I never really got a chance to go through all of the video because I get distracted a lot. But I was telling the ladies, I said, listen, I can't relate to this because I unless she's talking about people who are under 21 that are not dating. But the whole thing of what's going on online is not what's happening in person, and I think it depends upon your location, because a lot of people are saying like, oh, we're gonna have to wear a mask and the lockdown is the new normal, and I can't relate to that because in Georgia they really wasn't a stickler for that. They weren't like authoritarian like that with us. There are some shops that try to make it a big deal, but other than that, like if you buck up against them, they'll let it go. But anyway, the whole thing about, well, the good men, where are the good men? And I think this has everything to do with your mindset, because I can't relate to people who are having a problem finding what they're looking for. And I said maybe it's my location, but then Sugar Plum knows some young people who are also in relationships. So is this just depending upon the? So I guess the video. I guess my question to this video is, what are they talking about? Because even those two are married, and her twin sister. I don't know much about her. I don't know if she has kids or not, but I do know Brittany's pregnant. So it's like, what are they talking about? This, oh, I saw the statistics she put up there to saying half of the young, she kept putting young, and I want to know what she meant by young. I should have looked at that article of Americans aren't dating anymore because of hookup culture. And so I'm really trying to figure out, like, maybe, but then again, I'm not, in real life I don't know anyone um in a late teens or early 20s. So I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. Um, Again, I think you're right when you said it has to do with the location, because if you're in a more city-based place, you're not going to have that much of a connection to people,
Mm-hmm.
and so the connections that you do have are quite frivolous.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess in that way that you would have more of a hookup culture there. But I don't know about the situation in America,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm guessing depending on the state, depending on the political environment of the state, it would influence the culture of dating.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
I was gonna say that I think just like a lot of aspects of our life, it depends, and how that's going. It depends on who you surround yourself with. Um,
Yeah. True.
if you if you surround yourself with a bunch of single women, um, who maybe are hoes, or they like the hookup culture and they go out drinking every weekend or even throughout the week, then that's the environment that you put yourself in. Um, but just like as Tree has suggested, if you're looking for traditional men, you can go to the gun range or these various places, church or wherever, to find them. Then you put yourself in that environment, then you're going to find those people. And as an example, one of my daughter's best friends, who is, I think she's actually a year younger than my daughter, so she's 19 and actually just got married um, to her high school sweetheart. And
Wow.
he's a good guy. He's a good kid. I've met him quite a few times, and I actually really like him, and think that they're actually very good for each other. And so I was very happy for them that they did get married.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So again, I think it just depends on your it does depend on your environment, but it also depends on who you choose to surround yourself with.
True. Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. I know for a fact, I always had this mentality of if I can't change the friends around me, I'll change the friends around me. And I haven't changed them in a long time because I'm happy with the new set. I said these group of friends are till death do us part, because I think as we grow older from teenagers, like I couldn't hang around the people who I was friends with during my teenage years. I went, as a matter of fact, I went to go look them up to see, okay, who's alive, who's dead, who's whatever. And I went to go look at what they're into, and I go, whoa, we could not be friends to this day. It's like, Black Lives Matter all over, all the paraphernalia everywhere. And a couple of them were basically, one shocked me and actually became a trans person. But I'm really, he was gay in high school, so I guess it wasn't too far fetched. But I was looking at their belief system, and I was like, oh, dude, we just couldn't do it. And then with the people with the college, there's no way. So I changed friends from high school to college, and my college friends, what I'm saying? So it's like I've been through so many phases of friendship that now, which has been this while for years, I'm in a phase where, okay, I don't see me changing extremely in the future anytime soon. So I think this is it now.
Well, and that's what happens with experience. And you know, growing up is that we do have phases of friends, and I think that people fall into this trap where they grew up with somebody or a group of friends, and they will there's like this, they don't want to break this loyalty to this group of friends
Yeah.
and seem like and basically they've outgrown these group of friends, and so they hold themselves back by continuing to be friends with them. And so but people who are able to let old friends go and move on, they make new friends, and
Mm-hmm.
then you get older some more, and you start having friends that maybe you were colleagues with, and now you've got friends through work or something. And then the older you start to choose who your friends are,
Right.
because you know better, who's an emotional vampire and those signs, and you know who is just maybe a hoe and will never intend on getting married, and that's what you want. So I'm not going to be friends with this chick and go out with this chick. I'm going to go out with this person who maybe is married or who also wants to be married. Basically people that you have things more in common with.
Mm-hmm.
And you tend to not be afraid to make those decisions as you get older.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Anybody else want to say something before I move to another topic?
Mm,
No?
Yes, but not really.
Okay. All right.
I was gonna say, like, isn't that sorry?
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, isn't that more for extroverted people?
For who people?
Extroverted.
Extroverted. What do you mean? Like is what is basically finding new friends is for extroverted people?
No, I mean like the ones who will actually go out and look for new friends.
I've never looked for all of my friends found me. And I now Ness probably or Gabriella or Lilith or Rabbit probably look for friends. I'm not sure, but I've either been in the same situation that made me attract a friend, or or they just came up to me for some reason or another, and then we just kept in touch, and then all of a sudden we grew in a bond.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that, I mean, I guess some people will, make the effort to go out and actually look for friends or people that they have things in common with, which is why they might join like a book club or a gym or something like that. But ultimately, the whole idea is that whatever you enjoy doing, or maybe you're at work or even at school and you join a club or something, you meet you meet people who will have something in common with you, and then you make friends. So
Yeah.
I don't think that it's just only for people who are extroverted, because someone may be introverted, but unless they're a hermit, I mean, they'll leave the house at some point, or even on social media.
Yeah.
Mm,
Did that address your question, Sugar Plum?
I guess so. Yes.
All right. So my next one here is how should I bring this one in here? Is I talked about this yesterday in reference to the arrogance of men saying that, oh yeah, you women, you women, you women. And don't get me wrong, I've always said women have to get their act together. But like the whole thing of the high value, and we understand where that came from, right? Why that's the top of why that's such a topic right now. And it was important for me to talk about that yesterday. Like, listen, ladies, a high value lifestyle, which makes you a high value woman, has a high value lifestyle. And it's maybe that's your thing, but it's not my thing. And I do believe, like, if you are the type of person that believes in keeping up with the Joneses, or you want to basically live this, what is this, have champagne taste on a beer budget, and you are so consumed with how you appear, of how you look, you want to make sure you don't you want to make sure you're surrounded by people who care about who you are, who you're friends with, and who your connections are, and what type of stylish clothes you're wearing, and how many rocks is that diamond, blah 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 blah, right? I love just being down to earth. I love my shorts, my jeans when it's winter season. I love my tank tops. I definitely love my hats. For privacy reasons, I wear them online. But other than that, I like the way I look, and I like the way I live my life. and I like the way I talk, and I like the way I just go around and do my own thing without having to keep up with pretenses. So these are the things that I see with women, but it's so laughable when I see men talk about high value, and I'm like, where? Because first of all, like I said, people have to understand if you're high value, it comes with a high value lifestyle. I see these stupid videos of like, let me tell you how to be a high value woman. You have to have confidence. You have to have something. No, that's just false. Because, like I said, the girls that I talk to, that I'm very good friends with, okay, adore these women. They're not high in self-esteem, really, because they really care, like, oh, Tree, this happened to me, and this Tree, blah, blah, blah. And what do you think about this? Do you really like this dress? Cynthia said she didn't like it. And it's like they're so insecure. And it's like I will build their self-esteem up, and then it's gone as soon as they interact with their crazy friends again. But I said all that to say is that all I see is the women, and I don't see any of the men talking, except in the Black Pill community, talking about improving themselves. And so I guess my question to you ladies is, but by the way, going back into reality again, in reality, I don't see any of this. It's the online world is so different than the world in reality. And it's like men are always doing things to better themselves, to improve their situation with their family, with their children. But online, I mean, you got people who are not even paying child support, but they're going to sit up here and talk about single mothers. So anyway, what do y'all say about that? Like,
The reason why they're online.
so you think there's also, oh, that's a good point, Rabbit. So they're not,
That's a good point.
yeah, that's really an excellent point. They're not, their life is only online, where they're presenting a facade.
Pretty much. I mean, like, it's one thing to speak, but to actually, show the actions of what you're talking about, it's different to me.
Yeah, and the ones who aren't online are getting on with their life, so you don't really see the results for that.
Yeah, that's true. But how do you?
The ones that you have online, I'm going to address the broken pill community, which is at least the ones that I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that we shared in the chat, those are, I don't know why the majority are all Americans. I think maybe they are authentically frustrated, or maybe they're just or they're just grifters that just like spew the same talking points. I also remember we had that trend with blogs like 10 years ago in Romania, and I also was reading some blogs where the writers were quite misogynistic, like, oh, women are whores, and yeah, men should sleep with a lot of women, blah, 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 blah. And I was shocked to read the comments. They were like, yeah, these whores. And I was like, oh my God, is this like what we're working with in terms of men mentality here? But I think that's just like a small proportion, and as Megan said, it depends on the crowd. You can have like frustrated men, like you can have like that like women with that feminist manifesto, like like I don't need no man and all of that. So yeah, I don't know, it's very hard to tell when you're seeing this bubble on YouTube and to try to determine. But obviously the hookup culture just like left marks here as well, but I don't think that's the majority.
No, you're right. It's not the majority. I also find that that's a very interesting point. So it's like a phase. It's like they were doing this on. You're gonna always have angry people, where you have angry men and angry women. They're gonna always be there. I guess the thing about it is that when they start bleeding into, you know, um your line of sight, or in this case in YouTube, in your recommendation of videos, which I fixed that, by the way. Or if you want to get rid of these people out of your recommended videos, just put those type of videos, just put I'm not interested, you know what I'm saying? And they'll stop. You have to train the algorithm to basically stop recommending those videos, because when you watch a video that you like and it's associated with these type of people, then the algorithm will like, oh, well, if you like this person, then go ahead and get that. But getting back to what you're saying, yeah, it's true. It's like when you are in real life, you don't see these people. So, you know, and a hurt person will constantly want to bring a lot of hurt. And is it me, or has being a victim been not only acceptable but profitable? Or has this always been this way?
It's a come up now. Like, you know, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. And the thing about it is that all these channels that you know, talk about women and men, because it's on both sides, right?
Right.
But we're speaking
Yeah.
more to red pill now. This is old news. It's been going on, and before social media, you were hearing it in rap lyrics, and you still do. But it's like, the way I look at it, it's like these are just 90s rap lyrics rehashed.
That's a good point.
And now
yeah.
on 2.0 on social media, being driven by a bunch of keyboard warriors. So, you know, and because they see that certain YouTubers are, you know, have all these subscribers, and, you know, people act like it's brand new information. It's not brand new information. You just repackaged it.
Right.
And now everybody, all the way down to Pookie and Ray Ray, are trying to start their own YouTube channels, bringing up the same points.
Are
So
they angry, or
it's-
is it a grift?
I think it's both.
Yeah, it could be both. Yeah, it could be both. It could be both. Yeah, it could be
It's
both.
an angry grift.
Where is the anger coming from, though?
What was the question?
It comes from various.
I didn't hear the question.
Go
What did she
ahead.
say?
Oh, no, I'm just curious as to why there's so much anger then.
Oh, go ahead, Nessa. I definitely want to answer that
Well-
question.
Well, that's like opening Pandora's box.
Mm.
I mean, you know, why do baby mamas keep their kids away from the dad who wants to be in the life? Why do, you know, there's too many layers, I think, to really answer that question. But I think that the common denominator is what Tree has expressed before, and other people, is that they've been hurt. Someone hurt them. And this is how it's coming out. And now I've got an echo chamber, because there's all these other channels who are saying the same things, but now I'm going to say the same thing just in my own way, and, you know, share my own experience.
My answer to this is two things: detached from reality and no accountability. Now let me explain the first one, why they're angry. See, this is why I'm actually I'm loving at the black, like I said, the black pill community, because I've learned a lot about not only myself, but I've learned about my behavior and the things I do. Like, it is true that, you know, certain men have it better than other men. And when these men are not in the know of that, and then they get told one thing, or they get gassed up or something like that, and they get shut down by a woman, you know what I'm saying? A woman that they should have never approached in the first place. They therefore, instead of saying, okay, what's going on with me, this, that, and the other, let me look at me. And if it's not, if it's really, really nothing wrong with you, okay, then you're like, okay, well, she wasn't that right person. But they take it personally, and therefore will use a brush and just brush all women that way based upon their experience with one woman or one particular type of woman. And this is the reason why I tell a lot of people to just ignore what modern women and men say, because one, they don't even look at themselves and see like what's going on. Like, for example, remember, I'll use myself as an example because I have no problem, you know, stating some things that I've learned about myself. Like when I told you how we all are vibrating at a certain frequency, and when when my face was basically just extremely damaged from that staph infection, I still came out in public although the hat was pulled all the way down on my face, but I didn't feel good about myself. Okay. And I attracted some loser, but I didn't know it at the time because I was just confused. Like, why is this guy like trying to get my number? But I was confused at the time, and as I began to talk to him through text, because he didn't want to talk on the phone no much. He was like constantly asking for pics. I don't do that. He'll constantly send suggestive pics to me, and it was always sexual. And then it wasn't until we had a conversation that I realized, because like I said, it was nothing productive. He didn't care about my day. All he wanted to know was like, so when we gonna get together? When we got blah blah blah. And then that's when I checked myself, and I said, oh, the hell's going on? I said, oh my God, I need to do something with my mentality, because I just attracted a piece of shit. And so, if another woman, and you can say a man or a woman, right? Instead of saying, look what I attracted based upon my belief system, look what I attracted based upon my mentality, where I'm vibrating on. I attracted, a POS. And what women will do if they're not in tune will say, oh man, a dog, look, he just wanted me for that, this, that, the other. No. You were on that level to attract that type of man. Same thing with a woman. Same thing with a man who attracts that type of woman, instead of him looking at himself and going, what did I do? And that's why I say detached from reality and no accountability. It's all in that order, because I was, when he came up to me, I had no idea. And then when I realized that he was just, coming for me just for sex, then instead of me blaming him, I said, whoa, because I had to realize I'm in charge of my destiny. I attracted that fool in my life. So instead of me going all men are dogs, all men want one thing, I went and said, look at what I did, how I felt about myself, how I really thought about how I had low self-worth, low self-esteem, and I was in this guy's radar, and he therefore came across from me. So you see what I did? I didn't blame. I didn't make no video like, ooh, y'all, let me tell you about this dog I hit. This man don't want nothing but one thing. I didn't do any of that. I accepted 100% accountability. That is something that is not done with these people.
And isn't that a sign, just like they talk about for women, who talk trash about their baby daddies or their ex-boyfriends or husbands even.
Yeah.
If they're talking mess about their exes, well, they're the ones that chose them. They're the ones that, let them nut up in them or whatever. And, so that tells you what their mentality is,
Right.
or at least, when they chose that person. So we can say the same thing about these men who, are crying about what their ex did and this and that. They made that choice as well.
Right. When someone talk about how they go, oh man, they're garnishing my check for child support. Y'all know how I feel about men, particularly, okay? Women too, but mainly men, because them the ones that be crying all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you chose not to use protection. So you want to sit up here and like you want to have raw sex, but you don't want to deal with the consequences and repercussions of that. That's all on you. That's all on you. And it's like, if you don't sit up here and start learning how to take accountability for your decisions, you're just playing the victim. And this is a new era in time where being a victim is not only profitable. This used to be shunned back in the early 2000s and the 90s, okay? This was not something people glorified or they applauded, and they definitely didn't monetize it because nobody wanted to look at this stuff. But now it's like, here go my wounds. Let's bash other people for why I allowed them to create this wound on me.
So, Tree, I actually think that in terms of human behavior, this existed, since forever. But given the fact that we have technology and social media, of course, for us, this is the first time where we're like, oh my God, look at all these people that are just like whining and complaining and, profiting. Because if you notice, I always remember something that I noticed in one of my former working places. There was someone that was complaining all the time and being like not wanting to participate to events and being like such, I don't know, like it pained him to be part of the team, and everyone was trying to be accommodating. And I was like, but why does this fucker get so much attention and other people that work so hard?
Yeah, but they don't join and say, yes, I'm going to be a
are
victim too, though, do they, Gabriella? That's the point that's going on right now, is that same guy that you're using, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else is sitting beside him and saying, yeah, I agree with him. I don't want to do anything either. He was just an emotional vampire that was just sucking up energy that he was never going to use.
Yeah, but it works, and this has existed since forever, but now it's more relevant, let's say, because people go on YouTube, they make a channel and they start like exposing their wounds, like, oh, I was touched on my bottom 15 years ago and I cannot let it go, or stuff like that. So I think it's more of an overcorrection, because let's say that, I know, 15 years ago you would be shamed for speaking out or addressing some very, let's say, sound concerns, and now it's like everyone is like, oh my God, he looked at my bosom, oh my God, #MeToo and all of that. So I think it's just an action of overcorrection, perhaps. And in terms of complaining, I've seen this. I don't know. I think this is a human behavior, because I've seen this in so many different spaces. And, people are hurt. And as Ness said, it's something so complex, starting from childhood trauma to, like emotional pain caused by a relationship or whatever, disappointments. And people just have that need. Of course, not all people will showcase that pain, but some people have that need to victimize themselves and go through the pain and get that sympathy from others. And I don't know why,
I disagree
but
with
some
that.
people remain stuck there.
I disagree that it was this type of level of victim popularity was ever at this level. Like, I mean, like, if you all remember the whole self-help craze, this is just people always wanted to be better, but now we're in the age, and I'm sorry, I know you got to show me some more evidence of. I know, don't get me wrong, yes, there are individuals every now and then for every group you're gonna have a Debbie Downer. Yeah. That's always been throughout humanity. But my thing is, this is a new thing where it's popular to be a victim. It's popular to be helpless. It's popular to be worthless. It's popular to say, "Oh, woe is me." You know, that has not been where for example, like I said, I'm going back. I've never seen this in the 90s, and I definitely haven't seen this in the early 2000s. Okay, where you have someone that says, we'll use a woman because men are a little thin skinned. We'll use a woman where a woman will basically get on the internet and say, you know what, I'm suffering from ADHD. I am also my mom doesn't understand me. We're talking about these type of people who are like, my mom is part of the patriarchy, and she won't give me money to go over and fly first class to go protest for Black Lives. Did the most ridiculousness. You know what I'm saying? If this happened in the 90s or in 2000, people are like, girl, shut up with your little victim ass and just start do your own thing, get your own job, get out of your mom's house, blah, blah, blah. They'll tell these people to get a grip. No, instead they're like, oh, hugs, cyber hugs. I'm in solidarity with you. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let's get a GoFundMe so you can protest for Black Lives Matter while you go fly there in first class. You know what I'm saying? That's just as unheard of to me. Until now.
Did you really see that? Was that for real, Tree? You really saw that?
2 years. No. Doing Obama. No, wait. I made up the part about Black Lives Matter. It was the Indian pipeline that was over there on the West Coast.
Oh my gosh.
She wanted, and I don't know what year that was, but they were hosing them down with water. Y'all remember that? When they was protesting, she wanted money and she said the reason why she had to fly first class is because those seats are bigger for her because she's overweight than a coach size, and they did do it.
Wow.
I think I remember this.
So, Priya, again, I think this is more so. This victim mentality is more relevant now because of technology. And I'm going to give you an example because you brought up Black Lives Matter, and I remember something. So there was this when you guys had that Tuesday blackout or whatever, and everyone was putting up black squares on Instagram, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening? Someone died?" And I was like, "Oh no." And there was a dance school. I mean, there still is a dance school, like classical hip hop and stuff here in Bucharest. And one of the teachers, she put out a message, and she was commenting, and someone was commenting on her status, and he was like, do you actually know a bit about history? There isn't. I mean, he wasn't stating that there isn't any discrimination in the States, but it's not as severe as it was 50 years ago. And she was like, well, no, you need to read the history because Black people in America is oh my God, no, it's like a cancer, this rhetoric of, yeah. And one of my friends, she watched the Michelle Obama documentary on HBO,
Lord.
and she was telling me oh my God, I saw Michelle Obama and Black people in the States, and she's an intelligent woman, she's educated, she's traveled. And when I heard that, I swear to God, I cannot take that out of my mind. Whenever I look at her, I'm like, I cannot believe this bitch told me about Michelle Obama. I don't know if we're still friends, but it's something that really weighs on my soul. And I keep telling my therapist whenever I'm annoyed, I'm like, I cannot believe, I cannot take this comment about Michelle Obama. You can just put a random documentary over her nose about the poor Blacks in the States.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
oh, look, it's Michelle Obama, this multimillionaire. Michelle Obama, are you serious? I hate Michelle Obama. That's all I can say.
No, I realized that a lot of American culture, especially around, not to get political, but especially around race and all that, has kind of integrated itself into other countries.
Yeah. But they learned it from
Definitely, but I
America.
think it started. Yeah, I think it started in Romania after '89, of course. Oh, did you guys know that Michael Jackson visited us? Oh my, I loved Michael when I was little. Our former that our first president after the revolution, Ion Iliescu, called Michael Mr. Michael. That's like an inside joke for us Romanians, but it was very funny. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that since the revolution, like these accents from the west started, but it depends on the regions. For example, the eastern region of Romania may have more accents from Russia, depending on the location. Of course, people in big cities are very anti-communist and all that. So it's more of a taking over the modern view that is coming from the West. But yeah, I think that. Wait, I'm rambling. What was the
Well,
question, Tree?
I think you all are copying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Europe tend to copy off of things that we do here in America. Like, what the hell are you guys protesting about George Floyd for?
Yeah, that was stupid. I mean, again, there are only a few people on Facebook. If you go out, no one gives a shit about the
No one really
random
knows who he is.
that was shot in. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, the problems that we have here and that people are not really addressing because they feel powerless are, way above, that random criminal that was kneeled upon. So I don't think that I think it's more of a superficial interest. I don't think that at the core people care as much. We have a different history, we have a different outlook. So yeah, and I also think that a lot of people try to conserve or blend a bit these modern concepts with the traditional and conservative views of the country, I think.
I think it's also as America at the moment is like the national superpower. The culture is also going to be projected onto the others, and in a way to emulate them, they're going to want to basically take in any aspect as to integrate themselves and become better. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. I think also another way to combat this, because if you have all these loud voices, by the way, this is trying to empower people and tell them that, hey, this is not, you don't have to live this life. That's not going to be popular, and people love a shit show. They also love that mob mentality. I never subscribed to that. I just could not do a whole mob thing, like, let's all just go after this one person together. You know what I'm saying? I'm known for going after people solo, knowing nobody's gonna back me up. If somebody does, it's kind of like surprising, but it does happen. But I think that if we have more channels that are telling women, particularly, because the men, they got their own thing going on, but just to tell women, like, look, it doesn't have to be this way, the way you all are listening to these loud voices. You're the messenger, and his message don't apply to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be more like, okay, let's talk about traditionalism for a second. Like,
Yay.
we have so few traditional channels, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. That's fine with me. Okay. What it is that when women don't know we exist, that are in the center, but they don't know we exist, and they go, "Oh, I've been looking for someone who thought the way I thought." You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get to those people when the algorithm doesn't favor a positive message. Now, what I'm doing now is going against all odds. I'm used to it. This is something that's always been, not always been my life on YouTube, but ever since I went political in 2016, it has always been my life to go against the grain, because that's when the algorithm and the powers that be in YouTube decided, like, no. We cannot let this voice get big. Now, there are some voices that can get big with financial backing, but if you're just a humble startup person, you just got a obstacle to go to get over. But it can be done. But I guess what I'm asking is that how do we get? I don't want to be popular. I don't want this to, because like I said, if something is everybody. If everybody's doing it, it's going to be trash, because they're going to bring their crap with them. So I'd like it to be exclusive, but how do we get about to women who think like us but don't know we are here?
That's a tricky question,
That is
Tree,
a very-
because the thing is, some people can't really. I mean, I don't know if you can really. I mean, of course, you can put yourself out there, put out content, have streams, and all of that. But at the end of the day, I think it depends on what the women are looking for. And I don't know. Unfortunately, this is only from my experience. I'm just thinking of the women I know. For some reason, they just prefer to wallow in that misery. And even if you try to convince them, I did this exercise with a former colleague a few weeks ago. About there are good men out there. She was like, "Well, where's your boyfriend?" I was like, "Well, I don't have a boyfriend, but that doesn't mean they're not good men out there. We're like fucking 19 million Romanian people, not to put into addition all the other people on the globe. And no, all Romanians think the same. Do you think that men really understand the concept of marriage and what it entails? No, they just go into it blind." And I was like, oh my god, such bad energy. So I think that it's just a waste. Some people, I don't know if I can just say, because
But
this
she
sounds
doesn't
negative,
think
are
like
just
you,
too far
though. That's what
gone.
I'm saying. She's not of your ilk. She's not of your clan. So she's not a good
Exactly.
example.
So for me, exactly. So that's why I'm saying that you need those people that want to hear this, this talk about, marriage, looking for a traditional partner, what to look for. They need to search for that message. And I think that, unfortunately, or maybe they're not looking for it on YouTube. Maybe they have a
good point.
different
Yeah.
source of looking for that. Of course, people that are into their religion,
Right.
they find that earlier. They find it in their 20s.
Right.
So maybe they have different channels, so it's not necessarily YouTube. And even if it's YouTube, I think first they get into the grifters, because like it or not, grifters have the biggest outreach for some reason. So it's always these disingenuous people that have a bigger platform. And you have to search a bit to find something authentic. That's been my experience, at least.
I think it's something more than that as well, because if you realize, well, I don't know if any of you realized, but when I kind of got into this when I was a bit younger, before I got into it, it was very much demonized, the traditional culture, in the media, in school, in basically the culture in general. And so I think one thing that conservatives can do, especially, is to reinvigorate the idea of traditionalism and basically what it is to be feminine and masculine, and and in marriage, basically.
Why was it demonized? Tradition.
Well, I just found it, like, especially in primary, secondary school, where it was very much encouraged, the feminist view, and it was as if you were not worthless, but you didn't really have much to offer in society.
You don't have much to offer, or the women don't have much to offer. I'm a little confused.
Oh, sorry. The traditional view of women didn't have much to offer in society. That's how it was portrayed.
When, like 100 years ago?
Oh.
No, in school.
Okay, let me repeat back what I think you said. You're saying that it was projected that the only women who had nothing to offer to society were the ones getting into were just being traditionalists.
Yes.
Okay. That isn't that a little sexist though? I mean, how because if you really look at it, they're saying that motherhood is
Basically, yeah.
okay, so we're on the same page on that. I'm like, what? Do you understand how hard job it is to be and I'm never going to be a mother. I've helped mothers and my hat goes out to them, but to sit up here and think that that's an easy job. If it was so
I think
easy,
they
then
portray
why
it
do
as
we have so
something-
many messed up people in their adult ages as adults now?
But I think they just portray it as something like, oh, you have to do it, so what's the point of glorifying it or making it a positive thing?
Oh.
Go ahead, Rabbit. You had something to say?
Yeah. Sorry. I think it's just also a matter of like being traditional isn't really mainstream.
Mhm.
And I have encountered some women who kind of look down upon women with traditional views. Like, not wanting to spread your legs for everyone. There was like an article on how being empowered was to basically have sex with everyone.
Is that true? Did the article really say that?
That was
Well,
the
this
gist of it,
empowering
yeah.
BS comes from you
enterprise, right?
guys, you Americans. Like,
Well, I got it. Yeah, true,
you know,
true. I can't deny that one. Oh,
and
you
hookup
get
culture.
you get the sugar and the shit coming from America. But wait a minute, what article? No, you know what? Y'all can't take those articles seriously because they're written by like 500-pound women with blue hair.
Mm.
And also they're written by like Vox or Huffington Post, which are just far left.
Yeah,
Not
they're too
always.
far left. Because who said that? Wait a minute, what was the
Yeah.
title again? To find your empowerment, open your legs to everybody. What a
I'd have to think of the title.
what a no. I'm
I
sure it
think so-
exists.
it was
I've
some-
seen I've seen some articles close to that on the Guardian actually.
Yeah, the
like-
Guardian. Yeah, I could believe
Don't
that
talk
very
the
much.
Guardian.
I like read the first paragraph seriously, but when I got past that, I was just like, okay, this woman is nuts.
Oh my God! Like the thing is that we don't know that we keep seeing this propaganda of like, yeah, so liberating, having sex with, having threesomes. Yeah, so liberating. You're feeling such like a woman and all that. All the messages from Hollywood, and I just remember a fun story. My grandma was. She was 84, I think, when she passed away. But before that, she had a TV in her room, and she was like, she was a Christian. She's been a Christian all her life, and she was like a bit shocked to see like black women shaking their asses on MTV. This was like 10, 15 years ago, and she was like, yeah, these women are shaking their asses. my grandpa was more of a women's man, and he liked that. It was like,
Yeah, of
but
course
my
he would.
grandma, she was a bit shocked, like, like thinking how is the world going to look, like in the future, if we have like, there were like in some videos, I don't know if Little Wayne, not Little Wayne, Little John videos, there were like women, like shaking their ass over their head, like crazy stuff.
The thing about it is that
Ratchet.
what woman would look at that? You have to think about it. What type of woman look at that and go, yeah, I want to do just that. I want that type of. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some that will do that. There are some women that will like, oh, look at all the attention she's getting. But they have issues stemming from the home. These are the women who will see these women getting this attention, because bad attention is still attention. Either way, you got eyes on you. So you have some women who have a higher self esteem and high self-worth than that it will look at a woman doing that and like, even though she did that to get close to a rap artist, it's not worth humiliating yourself and degrading yourself in order to do that. So this is the women who look at these women and say, "Ooh, okay, I'm about to go buy me some booty shorts and a tank top and maybe, do a couple of sit-ups and work out, or maybe not, saying, because right now it doesn't seem to matter anymore. And I'm going to do the same thing and get the same type of attention. I don't want those women. I don't care. It's not my job to say those people. I'm sorry, I'm going to act like that when it comes to them, because I don't believe that everybody should belong. I don't have that liberal mindset of we have to save everybody. I don't have that mindset. I am very particular of the type of people I want to reach out to, and it's just like in reference to my circle. I'm very selective, and so I want the women who will look at that and go, I would never demean myself to that level just to get some money thrown on my butt, or to get, fame, or a brief moment of 5 minutes of fame on the internet or on TV. Saying it's not worth it to me. My dignity, it's worth more to me. Those are the women I want. Those are the women I want to target too as well. And they're out there. They're more of them, I believe. No, I'm not gonna lie like that. There's more of them than I think it is. Of course, there's way more modern hoes than it is of traditional women, respectable women. But the thing about it is, I think they think that there's just no one that has their message to back them up.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, was you about to say something?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just saying, like, I definitely, there's quite a few articles like that, like that, how using, like, being a whore is like being a powerful woman and a great feminine.
How
So
though?
brave.
Don't be ashamed to, to say or whatever, or screw as many men, like they just, these far leftists, they're just, believe that bullshit because they're all whores, and that, they want to make it okay for everybody. Misery loves company.
Right.
They're not really happy, doing this, sleeping with men, for no reason, to feel good about themselves too. That's the thing. When you sleep with a lot of men, you have low self-esteem and you need to prove something to yourself, and these are women that are just with low self-esteem, deranged in a way, and they want us all to be like that, and pressure us, not realizing that they're like pressuring people, women, to doing this, and then they go out saying, don't let anybody tell you that, that you're this or that because you sleep with a lot of men. Who cares? I definitely believe those, because I've seen those articles, pop in here and there. The Guardian, Huffington Post, Vox, all of those.
I was just like shocked. Oh, sorry.
No, Rabbi, you go ahead.
I was just like shocked because like it was just like every freaking anti-SJW video I've seen, it was just like the exact showcase of it. Like, I was like, people like this really exist.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? It's like, wow, these people are real. They're-
They need a checkup from the neck up.
Oh God, the self-awareness is strong. And like I said, it's those two things, self-awareness and like accountability. I'm going to be uploading an interview I did with BJ. He came up with this because we had a discussion. We were all over the place with I don't even know what I'm going to name that daggone video because we were just talking about everything. But we came up to the conversation of women who, like, I brought it up. Remember with the conversation when we were having where, we were talking about how women should just basically reserve themselves because they can't keep their heart disconnected when they share their bodies with a man. And then he says, he brought up a very interesting point because I was saying to him, like, he's like, well, now we're in an age where the more men a woman has with the man, she loses her oxytocin. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Oxytocin.
I
It's
always
an
mess it
improvement
up,
from
don't I?
Oxycontin.
I don't know why I keep calling it Oxycotton. Maybe because I don't have any oxytocin.
Sure, that's the excuse we'll use.
because of the oxytocin, right? I'll say Oxycontin again, no, so y'all just correct me again. I'm sure I'll say it again. But he was like, they lose it. And I said, you don't think that testosterone has anything to do with it? Because I said, I've never was a whore, okay? So like, but this whole thing, and I said, I've been in love twice in my entire life. And I said, I guess because of what I watched my father do to other women, just made me hold on to my heart. I was just, I guess you could subconsciously, I never trusted men, you know what I'm saying, to have my heart immediately until they proven themselves to me. So maybe that's why I can stay disconnected until that moment happened. But he just didn't have an answer to that. But he was like, for the most part, when modern women who have a high body count, they can stay disconnected, but it can be reset when they go celibate for a while, and then they basically reserve themselves for that person that's going to be their life partner. What did y'all think about that?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point, and I'm just thinking of my perspective. I had my mom was, let's say, a bit of a messed up role model, so she was all over the place, and I think that I took over that transmitted desperation for men, and I think that controlled my 20s. So it wasn't a very happy or enjoyable time for me because my concern was, oh, but do others like me? Of course, I had to, and I worked a lot of years on my self-esteem, and I was like, I do not understand why this is so hard to build, but it was what it was. So I was pretty, and this is something that my former therapist said, and I was super annoyed because, she wasn't very nice about it. But I think that I give her props. The poor woman listened to me, day after day after day. And at one point, because I was like, I don't know why I can meet someone. And she's like, because you're desperate. And I was like, bitch, what? that broke my heart just to hear that. And I was so pissed. Of course, she apologized the next session. She could have said it in a nicer way because, I was a bit sensitive and all that.
Would you have accepted it if she said it in a nice way?
I think I would. I don't know, I can't go back. But yeah, I just remember it was hurtful when she said it. And I thought that it was a bit insulting. That's what I felt then. I thought that it was a bit of a personal attack, and I didn't think that it was fair. So having such strong emotions, I think that they had a solid basis, and that yes, she could have been a bit uh, compassionate about it. Of course, she apologized the next time, and I was like, yeah, okay. But moving back to, and it was pretty hard for me to, like manage myself, my feelings, and all that. But now I think that something happened. It wasn't something that happened overnight, but I think that there have been a lot of things that came into place, and I'm not the same person that I was 1 year ago. I'm not even going to say like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And I think I've changed a bit my building my self-esteem. I changed my priorities, my views. I don't feel, because I do have some compassion when I see women struggling, because I can still remember that feeling of emptiness, of loneliness, of desperation, and I know that it takes a lot of work to overcome that. Having said that, it's still a bit curious for me. I think like a couple of months ago, I kept receiving messages from exes or dudes that I previously knew, and they were like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "Good." "Hey, so wanna meet?" And I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh my god, who is this loser? Do I know him?" So yeah, it's been like such a and it was a discrete change for me. It's not so obvious for others. Maybe it's like I still receive messages from my ex. It was my first, let's say, serious relationship, and he still sends me messages like, "I miss you," and I'm like, "Okay, you'll get over it. Bye." But I still contact him if I need technical help with something. He works in IT. But when I see this man, like, "I miss," and I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to belittle him, but I just don't feel anything. So it's just goofy for me when I see this man, like, okay, thank you. That's nice, I guess. But so, yeah, I do think that you may have different periods of your life. I don't think that being that in that liberal mindset has to be like forever. You may be misguided or a bit lost, and for me, those were my 20s. I don't know how maybe others had mentors. They had more stable parents that gave them that model of a loving relationship. I did not have that, so I was pretty hectic, but I did manage to get my shit together, and now I can say that with no resentment. I wouldn't choose the same things that I did in the past, and that was a change that I wanted, but really happened in very slowly and very discreetly. I didn't just like walk up one day and I was like, yeah, I'm going to be traditional now, and I want to know that sense of wanting something stable, wanting a partner, and knowing now even rationally that yes, I do want a marriage. I'm not like I was like this before, like, well, if you have a strong partnership, then that's only a paper. Why does it matter? And I'm, no, it matters. I understand it's not only a symbol. So I do want that. It's non-negotiable. It's not like,
Yeah.
well, we'll see where we'll be. No, I know it, and I'm not ashamed. So you may have these changes in your life, but you have to, work for them.
I think
I have, you know what, I have to feel what she said is pretty much how I feel as well. I was, like I told you through the other day, I wasn't far left liberal, but I was pretty liberal, and who cares? I'm independent. I don't care. And being with guys and this and that. And, I got married, super early in life, and then I realized that wasn't it, and then I just went kind of crazy, whatever. But I saw as time went by how all those patterns and all that behavior wasn't getting me anywhere, and I was lost for a long, long time. And now that throughout the years after I got red pilled and after I started, listening to you and I've opened my eyes more, I've realized that, I was doing all those things out of insecurity, out of unhappiness, out of, all of these things. And that liberal mindset wasn't getting me anywhere. And now that I'm more stabilized and I started more, after I got red pill and everything, I woke up and see things for what they are. So that, when you take the red pill, pretty much, you see things as they are. So,
Well,
and
depends
now,
on what red pill we're talking about, because we
go
ain't
ahead.
talking about them idiots red
Well,
pill.
no.
You talking about
No.
political
Political
red
I'm
red
pill?
pill.
talking about
Yeah.
Matrix like you take the
Mm.
red pill and you see things how they are,
Yeah,
like
unfortunately,
literally how. Yeah.
the bottom feeders have usurped that terminology, and it
Yeah.
used to. Yeah, I have to catch myself using it too, because I don't
Hmm.
want that to be conflated with these imbeciles,
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah,
So
I get it.
there's that.
But yeah, I have to concur with pretty much everything she said.
I just I wonder if it's all about upbringing, because I like when I listen to other women, um, and everybody. Okay, we all been a fool for a guy before, but I wonder like why that phase lasts longer for some women than others.
Well, if it helps, my dad was never around really. Like
Okay.
my parents got divorced when I was 5 years old. My mom was as wonderful, she was my mother and I loved her, but my mom had her demons, and I think that also had a lot to do with the way that I was, because she, even though she was pretty conservative and everything, but my mom was an alcoholic and she had a lot of demons to deal with. She never let go of the past. She passed away when I was 18,
Oh
and I
wow.
was very attached to her. And then when she was gone, I was lost, and that's, I think, that reflected, for most of my life, until I realized, like, you can't be holding on to that, and you have to turn yourself around,
Did you
and
get married around that
work on
time?
yourself. And I got married at 23.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I
okay.
was
That was
with him when
way
she
long.
passed.
Huh?
So that had a lot to do with it too. He was, when I was with him when she passed away. I was with him already.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Okay. Yeah, that does have a
So
lot to
I
do with
also
it, doesn't
felt
it?
like I couldn't. Yeah, and I felt like I shouldn't let him go because he went with, you know, he was with me throughout all of that. To 1 year. He was with me a year when she passed away. So I felt also like it would be wrong for me to leave him if after all we've been through together. That mentality. You know. So, and then, but after many years, better late than never, I suppose. But and that's why I told you a while ago, Tree, that I was like, I feel like I wasted my years
How many,
and
if you
everything.
don't mind me
But
asking, how many
yeah,
years?
yeah. Well, I'm 44 now, so. But in the
Has
last
it
couple
been
of years,
that? Has
everything
it been
has,
that many years? Oh my gosh. Really?
it's crazy, isn't it? Right?
What? Oh
Yeah,
my
I know it's crazy.
god. So I guess
It's
okay.
crazy.
So
I've been through lots of roller
how are you
coasters.
dealing with the? This is very interesting. How are you dealing with the healing process?
Well, now I left California.
Yeah, well, that's
I
a good
woke up
step.
over
That's
there
a
and
big
everything.
step.
Yeah, exactly. And I also felt, find myself alienating my family and everything. So I'm back closer with them. That's important too. I was like, you
Right.
know what, your family is important.
Well,
And
your
when
family
I
is important.
got divorced and I ran, yeah, when I went to California, I just wanted to get away from it all, because I don't know, I was hurting and I was a mess,
Mm.
after I, separated from my husband. So, but I just, made the decision to be closer to my family, I've got a new job here. I'm finishing school, and things are looking up. Right now I'm dealing with another thing, which is that I've gained weight, and now that I'm with my family, it's really hard to lose weight because
Yes,
the
honey,
eating habits are,
I can totally understand. Yeah. They are such. They don't even mean it. They don't mean to sabotage you, but they do.
no. Tree, when I went to church the first time when I came here, and then I went to church, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go now. My aunt is like, where are you going? You haven't even eaten breakfast. I said, I'll eat when I come back. It's still early. Well, what if you get dizzy? I said, oh my God.
You gonna
Be
get dizzy for
fine.
not eating breakfast, really, girl? Your aunt is
Yes.
something else.
Yes. God bless them. Bless their hearts.
Yeah, they
But that is
mean
the
well.
challenge
They
that I'm
just
dealing
don't
with
know
now.
better.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm dealing with this. That's the challenge that I'm dealing with now, but I've made peace with everything else, and I'm starting over. I've been celibate,
So you hold on, but
so I don't really.
you sure you have healed from all the baggage from that marriage?
Oh my gosh, yeah, yeah. No,
Okay.
my first husband. Oh yeah, I've moved on from it. We never. I mean, we attempted to get back together once I got to California, but then it ended again shortly. And I've never looked back from our marriage. He's already he's been married. He's got kids with her. He's doing well. He's doing well.
Okay.
And I have nothing but I don't. I put that to rest. That was a long time ago, and I've nothing but I have nothing bad to say about him really. He's a good guy, and he's where he's supposed to be. And
Okay.
I've made peace with that. He just wasn't for me.
Right.
It was
Right.
just the wrong choice.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but
All
my
right.
challenge right now is to get in shape so I could go ahead and then find a husband.
You have to what you would have to do is you don't have to hear me when I tell you that you don't have to lose weight. And see, because the reason I and I've said this, I may have said this jokingly, but I'm so serious. I stop when I start noticing that men really don't kind of care. Now for me, I care more about my physique than every man I have ever been with. I have cared about
Me
it.
too.
They
Me
don't
too.
care. So you
Yeah.
notice I just stopped talking about it because it's like, as long as as long as you're not obese, I don't care anymore because they don't care. If it was a criteria that they were demanding, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you the hypocrisy. The same old busted ass mush mouth that talk about you fat, got fat women. It's like they got fat wives. And I'm saying to myself, who the hell are you to talk about? Wait a minute, you don't even practice what you preach. It's like you can't take their word anymore.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, that is true. It's true. That's the hypocrisy about that going on out there for sure.
Yeah, big time.
But yeah, no, it's true. No, you're right. I just don't feel
I totally
comfortable
get
in
it.
my
You
skin
don't
right now.
feel it. You don't feel like you should be approachable.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
from my understanding from observing these men, I guess it's all in your attitude.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Because
That is
I'm
true. And I
saying
feel
I'm
like
saying to
I
myself
could,
like wow, it's like um they unless they themselves are shoot, they can't in my gym, like I've y'all hear me talk about my gym all the time because I love that place. But like I said, I see the most fit men with overweight women. And it's like, I guess they don't care. Because I would think that these vain people, okay, would be the ones that, and there are some, don't get me wrong, there are some guys who have fitness models or women who are competing in some kind of athletic sports, and they have their body, tight just like their partners. But I would have to say, if I have to compare them to the number of men who are fit, who have overweight women or wives, I would have to say that those type of men who have overweight women or wives in their lives are outnumbering the ones that have fit women in their lives. It's for some reason they're not demanding it. I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I just adjusted my criteria and what I think women should be based upon their demands.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I see more men with like, overweight women than I see women in shape with overweight men.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't even know. I know a lot of in shape women. Their husbands are not fat.
Mm-hmm. You barely see that. Barely. And I come from a very liberal place, and I barely saw that there.
I've never seen it to this day. I haven't seen. But then again, I hang in different circles, and yeah, these women are liberals, and some of these women are conservatives. But if their body is tight, I know Rabbi, you want to say something. Let me say this, and I'm gonna let Rabbi come in. There was one chick, we were getting along so well in the gym. And all of a sudden, we were doing barbell rolls. And so when we stood up, there was this fine man behind us. You know what I'm saying? She turned around, she's like, "Oh, hi, hunty." And I was like, "That's your husband?" And she was like, "Yes." I said, why are you here in the gym, girl? Why aren't you in the room, you know what I'm saying, with this man? And I was like, that's the first time I hope her husband because he was too distracting. So I was hoping like, man, I hope her husband don't show up all the time while we're working out, because I couldn't keep my eyes off of him at that time. I was like, damn, motherfucker is fine. Damn. Oh, okay, go ahead, Rabbit. I'm sorry.
Why that is. I mean, maybe men just have more varied tastes than women. Because I've noticed, like, overweight women, like, they, at least the women I've interacted with, they always want a fit guy. They almost never want a chubby guy. Which is weird to me.
It is weird. It is weird because this has fascinated me so much that I want to learn more about men. Why they and not the broken ones. I ain't not talking about the broken ones, but just that dynamic alone, where we see every fit woman. Like when we say fit woman does not have a fat man, but we have seen some fit men have fat women. And no, I see what somebody's saying in the chat. No, these are not. I don't live in a low income housing area. These men have very good jobs. Okay, as a matter of fact, one of them is a fireman. Okay, he's very fine. And this woman has been his girlfriend for 2 years, I think. And she's 100 pounds overweight. So I know y'all want to try to make it like, oh yeah, they're just she's sugar daddy. No, it's not always the case. I'm sorry, you guys going to have to deal with it. You guys have lower standards than women. That it is what it is. I'm not judging, but what I'm saying is, you men do have lower standards. It is what it is.
And it's not a bad thing either.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's just we're observing that fit men don't necessarily want a fit woman.
Yeah.
And the same thing with a fit. No, we don't see that with the fit woman. Every fit woman we know has a fit man.
Exactly. Or either average or fit,
Or skinny
but
too.
not but not
I seen a
overweight.
couple of them have a
Yeah,
thin guy too.
like skinny or average, but definitely not like overweight or anything. Not like you see with men. And when we're saying this about men, we're not saying that it's bad. If anything, it gives us hope to the ones that are not in shape.
Oh, hey, here's a
You
good
know?
point. Darkstar says that some fat women are more nurturing. Now, let me tell you something. That's a point. Oh
Exactly.
my God, that's a good point because listen, when you get your body in such a perfect position, perfect shape like that, it's a selfish act. Okay, it's a very selfish act. You need to eat 5 to 7 meals, small meals a day. You need to have your protein shake. You need to make sure they're all put in a container. Especially if you are competing, you're gonna need someone who one understands that selfishness, and two that's going to help you with your meals, that's going to help you with the time, that's not going to get mad because you're spending 4 hours, yes, that's what I said, 4 hours in the gym. So if you really look at it,
Exactly.
would a fit woman, or even if she's not fit, would a woman who is in shape put up with that? No, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So we're actually giving men credit that, and but the tree, we've seen this, how men that have gorgeous wives, who do they end up cheating with?
An ugly
A lot
woman
of the
who's
times it's not with
overweight.
another gorgeous woman. Uh,
You must have been doing
you know,
something right.
it ain't for another gorgeous
True,
woman. Exactly.
true.
And then the gorgeous
That's
women
what I
are
said.
like,
You
oh my
can't
God,
take
can you
these
believe
men
it?
word for. They don't know what they want. That's why I want to get to know them more. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some that have been experienced, and I would call them seasoned. You know what I'm saying? From and they are intelligent and they understand what's going on, but they are the unicorns. They are small in numbers. There are so many men that don't want what they want. And for example, look at this channel. For example, the channel has been rebranded and it's going towards traditional women, yet still we got, the sorry ass men from the manosphere, creeping up on in the comments section, and they get shut down and they don't go nowhere. They take the abuse. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think they know what they want. They just repeat things because they want either something to say or they are trying to convince themselves or someone else. I'm not sure. It's such a different situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very puzzled by it though. I really am.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know.
I'm very
Maybe
puzzled by
it's
it.
also
Go ahead, Rabbit.
maybe it's also that like a lot of the maybe it's also that like a lot of the fit women are like taken or that they won't get with some of these men.
Well,
So the
I would have to.
chubbier women
I
are
would
their
have to.
option.
Yeah. I think you're onto something because I think fit women will never lower their standards. Why should they? Because when I was competing, you know what I'm saying? Hell, even now I'm not competing. But I was like, I ain't lowering. Why? It's I think those women are like, hey, I worked hard because we're going against estrogen, which is a bitch, dude. It's so hard. And therefore, when you're going against, because it's easier for men to gain muscle and to get strong and this and the other, not so much for women. And so when we bust our asses to do these type of things, we deserve what we want, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah. I've been doing I think ab workout for about 4 months now, and I've just got a little bit, not even like enough to show anything. But my brother, who is older than me, in 2 months
Mm-hmm.
he can get it, and I think that's what makes it harder
Yeah.
for having to have a good body.
Well, it.
It's so annoying that like
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, sorry.
it's so annoying because like these family friends I have, like her husband, he's as thin as a twig, but he can eat like anything
Yeah,
and
he's
stay
an
that way.
ectomorph.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah, those type of men and women. You have some women like that who have a high metabolism. They're called ectomorphs, and so they can eat, and they will not gain weight. They will be thin basically for most of their lives. The only thing that will probably happen to them is they get a gut or love handles, but other than that, that's about it. So there's that, but I find it very interesting. Like, I think that's why, but anyway, in conclusion, that's the reason why I just stopped telling women. I just don't want women to get obese. That's all I don't want them to do. But to have like this 8-pack or flat stomach and everything else, like, no, y'all, these guys don't care. You know what I'm saying? I think they care more about your cooking skill. Well, don't get me wrong. I don't think they want somebody like Lizzo. I don't think so. I didn't get. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, Tess Holiday.
yeah, Tess Holiday too. Like, it's kind of like there's that. No, Gabrielle, nobody's deleting comments. If you I gotta remember we're on YouTube. If you type something that goes against the YouTube algorithm, they'll delete it themselves.
I
But
said monkey in the chat.
you said who?
Monkey.
Donkey.
Monkey in the chat. How is monkey?
Monkey.
Huh? Hold on a second.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
You're right.
Delete the comment because of the word monkey. Monkey is an animal, or it's whatever.
Man,
Oh my God, they're
no,
deleting
no, no,
monkey.
no, 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 no.
YouTube
I'm
is
sorry. I'm
racist.
sorry. I gotta hit you onto some things that we do here in the United States. We call black folks monkeys.
But that's so you're culturally appropriating the word.
So no, but that's what
It's an independent word.
But so YouTube, because let me tell you something. When these stupid people come into my political channel as well as this channel, I go after them and I use Roach, which hasn't been banned yet, but don't worry, that will be banned soon. As a matter of fact, I got suspended from Twitter for using it. I deserved it, bro. Because I said,
Was it really because of the roach thing?
yeah, I posted it in the chat. You know what it was? I said, actually, let me go read that.
I know. I remember that thread, and then within minutes, then I see your thing in Discord that you got banned. I'm like, are you sick?
Yeah, no.
Like,
It did go against
in Twitter.
I didn't think they were going to be that petty. It did go against their policy. This is exactly what I said. Ratchet heifer with nappy hair extensions is saucy. It's
Yeah,
salty.
that do it.
No, that didn't do it. I'm gonna tell you the part that did it. Watch this. I said, ratchet heifer with a nappy hair extension is salty. I love triggering you, baby, making roaches. Remember when you spray a can of Raid on the floor? The ones that flip on their backs before dying are the ones that call you an Uncle Tom first.
Tree, I saw that thread you did and I saw that tweet, right? And
Right.
then I read that you said, you know what? I don't have time for this right now. I'm gonna come back after I do my stream. And then I see that you posted on Discord that you got suspended, so you didn't even get to go back.
No, because they were saying that I was doing threats because I called her a roach, and then I used the fact that I was using subliminal
You wanted to
messages.
use
Use
Raid?
Raid to kill her. So I was like,
Yeah, you were rough. Yeah.
I was like,
You were
yeah, I
pretty rough
broke the
because, you know,
rules.
got
I don't give a
suspended.
shit, dude. I don't care, dude. I
Yeah.
don't care. I so don't
Yeah,
care.
you you were definitely pretty rough because I got suspended for 12 hours for calling that woman a wench, and he wasn't. I didn't even say it to her. You saw it. I didn't even say it to her.
Yeah, yeah.
You could have just.
I just said I didn't expect anything else from that wench. And the thing is, Karens, all the Karens got offended
Oh,
and they reported me. I know that's what happened.
I got 3. I was fighting against 3 of them, so I took 2 of them down for calling me a coon because you can't even call me. You can't. I found that out by somebody else getting suspended because they use the word coon, and when you report that somebody calls you a coon, regardless of their race, they will get suspended too. So I brought 2 people down with me, so I'm all right with that. So I showed it. I reported
Yeah,
them
no,
too.
I saw those 2 that called you that.
Yeah, and I reported both of them. They both got suspended, so we all got suspended together.
What a happy ending.
You're coming down with me.
The only thing that I'm upset about, well, not really upset, is that I have to bookmark all of the things, all of the news channels I was following, you know what I'm saying, to get the news, to see what's going on in the news. But I spend most of my time on Minds, not Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, I know. The thing is that with Twitter, they have, not are all the news channels also on Minds too, or not?
Hold
not
on,
yet?
hold on.
Not really.
Hold on. Excuse me. So Boss Hog, excuse me, you bitch ass nigga, you're in my chat, okay? I will spray raid on your roach ass. You are in my chat. You are probably 500 pounds with a busted ass face on a Saturday night in my chat telling a woman that I'm being hypocrites for calling a roach a black woman like your mama a roach. Okay? Get over it. You pathetic men are in my chat. That lets me know that you ain't worth nothing. That lets me know that nobody wants you. You're an incel. You're a reject. There's nothing for you to do but come to a female stream. And if you paid attention, it is not even the type of political ideology that you align with. And now your butt hurt telling me something. Y'all talking about calling women roaches and calling them fat. And no, you're mad because you can't call them. You go to your little stupid ass broken pill side of YouTube and call women everything you want to call them. Pathetic ass losers. This is why I support abortion, ladies. Somebody like that
What'd
should
he
not
say?
been born. He said, hold on, let me read it completely. He said, so y'all can insult women calling them ratchet and roaches, but when a man call a woman fat, which is usually a fact, y'all are up in arms, shaking my damn head. Hypocrisy. Nobody even said that to him. Nobody even said that they can't call somebody fat. We just said that ugly,
know.
busted ass motherfuckers like him can't even get nobody fat because basically the average guys are getting them.
He just got triggered because fat women are accepted in the body positivity movement,
And because
but
he's
fat
fat.
men are
Right.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fat. No. He's not fat. He is morbidly obese. Morbidly obese. And you can always tell
And
the
we're not even
losers who
talking
come to
fat
our
people.
channel because these are the ones, like I said, these old ugly ass men come and grotesque and like they're 800 pounds, come up in here and like, well, we just wants to talk about the women. I'm like, we don't want you here. Go to
And
your
you know, I never-
space and talk all the shit you want.
I never understood what men's problem is with fat women. I mean, the women that are not in your face. I mean, yes, some people are fat. Some men don't have a problem with fat women. You know, that's what we were talking about earlier.
I
the
know,
fact
we're
that,
not even trashing fat
yeah,
people.
fat
Exactly.
women
No.
don't
You
seem
understand that a hurt
a lot
dog
of
a
them.
holler. When we were actually talking about how men have basically do not have a standard for fit women. We don't even we didn't even talk about this, but see, you understand, he is morbidly obese because he brought his hurt feelings into a chat that, one, wasn't even talking about that, two, does not even be hypocritical. Okay, we never said that men can't call a fat woman fat. We didn't even say that. So you understand,
Exactly,
a
we didn't
brain.
say anything like
Yeah,
that, and
we
we
weren't
weren't
even
putting
talking
anyone
about that.
down.
But he brought his bullshit to the stream. That's how these men are. And I'm so glad that happened because I want women to see how you got to leave these men alone. When you know they're part of the manosphere, when you know they're part of the red pill community, you got to leave them alone because they are broken beyond repair. These men are mentally deranged and they don't look in the mirror because I noticed none of these men have pictures of themselves on their profile because they know we would tear them up if they did. So you want to sit up here and judge and like, show me somebody. One last thing, then we're going to go back to what we was talking about. One last thing. Here is a challenge. Show me a Chad who's in the manosphere or the red pill community. Name me one Chad. None. There is none. There is none. You know why? Because listen, even the Chad and the fine men don't give a shit about calling a woman fat. These men don't even care. They're like, listen, that's her thing. That's her thing. Okay? These men have so much shit going on. They have so many women throwing it at them that they ain't got time to worry about, well, I can't call her fat, so why do y'all get to call her fat? They don't even do that. They don't even do that because they're too busy getting laid, unlike you old broken pill, stupid manosphere losers.
Yeah, we weren't fat shaming anyone. We were just observing some things. Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't understand. We weren't fat shaming anyone. We weren't saying anything bad about men at all. Nothing. I don't know.
You know, people
are
hear what
so
they want
soft
to
and so
hear.
stupid.
You know, some people just want to argue.
Yeah.
So what can you do?
Well, I definitely
Maybe he's
wasn't
in love
having
with
that.
Lizzo.
Until they argue about something.
He's in love with Lizzo. Who said that, Rabbit?
Yeah. Or Tess Holiday, I don't know.
Yeah,
my
Tess
God.
Holiday, you're the little anorexic.
Why is she? Hold on. Yeah, let's get on another subject. Hold on a second. Why is she calling herself anorexic? That's like me calling myself Asian.
So actually, Tree, I was watching a very interesting video on this from a YouTuber. She's also a personal trainer, so she has the knowledge on this. And there's actually a type of atypic anorexia. So you can find morbidly obese people that suffer from this type of anorexia, but it's not anorexia nervosa, what she was saying. But this is just my opinion. Given the fact that she's famous for being fat, I just think that this is, I don't know if she
rebranding?
has it or not, but I just think that she's using this for attention because that's where
Attention
she
and
gets
probably
her money
rebranding
from.
because she realized that she's not going to be here long when she stays that big. And she's probably having health complications right now. And that's going to cause her some illness issues. And so therefore, to distract against that, she wants to relabel herself as anorexic. I can't even say it without laughing. She wants to label herself anorexic. But when people, which is going to make it worse for her, because let's say, for instance, she calls herself anorexic, people are going to be all on her Instagram, and I don't know if she has Facebook. They're like, you're not anorexic, and she's going to constantly be defending that for a long time.
Yeah, but she also has like crazy stands that are like, oh yeah, she's beautiful. Oh, so brave for coming out. Yeah, but you need to like look at the facts. Is she doing this for her own image? Is she actually advocating, like actively helping people that struggle? I don't know. I'm not very up to date with with Tess Holliday's history, but from my
Yeah, me
perspective, I
neither.
just see her doing this for the victim points, for the, oh, she's so brave. You know, maybe it was a slow news day and someone picked it up. It's weird.
All of these women, that because they'll all eventually lose weight. They always do it. Look at the girl, or they lose enough weight to where they're not in a situation where they're gonna be they're gonna be dancing with death. Okay, the Grim Reaper. Adele lost weight. That woman who played Princess lost weight. There's another obese woman who lost weight too. Monique lost a lot of weight. Cause let me tell you something. Here's Rebel. Oh my God, yep, Rebel Wilson. The thing about it is that these women are just playing, and y'all gonna see that on our on me and BJ's conversation, where I said women who constantly talk about yes, I fat and I love it. They don't love it, because if they did, they wouldn't be trying to say it and convince everybody every day. They all want to be a thinner version of themselves. It's just that this is a way of, I hate to use this word because this is part of the manosphere thing, but it is true. It's the way of them coping with the fact that, hey, I'm going to eventually have to face my demons and lose this weight so that I don't have any health complications. And with all the money they have, they can actually do it, just like Rebel Wilson, just like Adele, just like Monique. They have the finances to make it happen so that they can stay on Earth a much longer, provided versus if they're obese.
But there's a difference, Tree. For example, from what I know, Adele never advocated like, yay, body positivity, I'm so happy to be overweight.
Yeah,
Whereas Tess Holiday, this is her career, and I really hope not, but I think that she's inspiring young women to, yeah, I don't need to lose weight. No, it's so crazy that we got to a point where people that are not advocating for body positive. This doesn't, I mean, originally body positivity doesn't mean being morbidly obese, but you see like people struggling, and when they lose weight, which is a good thing for their health, for their body, people are like, pissed off. And this is, again, it's very weird. I mean, before that, I don't remember, maybe it's something that, again, it's brought with social media. When you see people lose weight, you're happy for them.
No, they
because,
feel
especially
betrayed
if they're
because
morbidly obese.
I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is a right thing to do, but I understand their mentality where they're like, for example, who do I like on the right? I don't really like that many people politically, so I'm trying to figure out like, um, uh, here we go. Y'all know I'm in love with our queen, okay, Melania Trump, right? So I'm a huge fan, huge admirer, definitely have a crush on her. I don't care. I would tell the world, right? But imagine if she decides to divorce Trump, which is not, that wouldn't bother me, but basically hook up with somebody like Beto O'Rourke. You know what I'm saying? I would feel so betrayed. I think Beto is married, right? But let's pretend Beto O'Rourke is not married, and she decides to really, 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 really lower her standards and hook up with him and marry him. I would feel so betrayed. I would speak out against her too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, but I am not saying that her crazy fans are justified. What I'm saying is that these are morbidly obese people too, and when you leave team fat as hell, okay, then you're gonna feel betrayed, and that's what's gonna happen, is that they're gonna come out and attack her for not staying on their side. So, all right, so we got 10 more minutes. before we end. Anybody else got anything else they want to say? Uh-oh, guys. Did I? Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I thought I was like, what's going on? So anybody has I wanted, oh my God. Hold on, let me, what is white Obama? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, real quick, like, let's talk about real quick, because we have 10 minutes on food. We got off this subject and started talking with Samantha, so we never did get back on the subject on the entrees versus the desserts. Have y'all seen that change at all? And by the way, those of you who are listening, we're not going to do this every Saturday. I think we'll probably do this every other Saturday. Okay? Because this is a lot of work. So, and I want to get back to making the guy candy videos. So that's going to be every other Saturdays too. But getting back to that question around food, has that changed? Have you guys started dealing with more of your savory entrees? Or, because I think I still been seeing some desserts being posted up.
I still love chocolate, that's for sure.
Are you a chocolate addict?
No, thank God. I don't keep any chocolate in the house, so I don't get tempted.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, Grace, you brought some organic cherries. Oh God, I did. They're so expensive now. But that's okay. I bought it anyway. I bought some and I went through it in 2 days. I went through them in 2 days. So, but I'm on a watermelon kick right now. I don't know what's that all about. I think once I come across a bad watermelon, I'm going to stop buying it. But as of right now, I've been on a lucky streak. Every watermelon I've been getting has been very sweet and delicious, and I get filled off of them. Now, the only thing is, I hate it. It just makes you go to the bathroom a lot, but you know, it's doing a good thing. So there's that. Okay, apricots are in season. I am. You know what, Laura? I'm not an apricot person. Anybody in here eat apricots?
Nope. I only eat bananas or different mixes for my morning shakes, like like I don't know, mango, blueberries,
How do you cut in that mango?
stuff like that. Strawberries, yeah. Well, no, the mango, I don't cut it. I mean, I don't buy the fruit. I just
Oh,
buy,
you buy the
the
juice?
mix. You can buy mixes of, no, not the juice, the mixes of fruits. And I just like buy them just to do my shake. So I just put them in the blender. They're like small pieces of fruits in different packages. They're like frozen fruits.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, got it. I am I would love to do it that way, but I love fresh mangoes. That the frozen ones don't do it for me. But that's the only fruit I don't want to eat frozen. Everything else I can definitely eat frozen, so it's not a big deal. So there's that. And
Yo, Lilith, you're in the chat. Sorry, Tree.
Yeah.
What's cooking? You haven't said anything to us.
Lila talking about
Tonight,
something. She
today.
got pot and pans. She full of shit, dude. I'm just calling her out, man. She always talking about like I got a bunch of pot and pans I'm cooking, but yet still her ass be typing in the damn chat. So that's what I'm saying. Lila be full of shit though. I had to corner her about it today. I'm like, I want you in the chat. Like, but I'm gonna be very busy. Yeah, and still, who was the main one that was in the chat typing? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
y'all think I don't
Lilith,
pay
you need to
attention
up
to the
your
bullshit.
game.
I watch this. I see what I see, and I keep a note. I keep mental notes in my head.
You're messing with the wrong women, Lilith. Anyway.
So next time we do this, I'm just gonna ban her from the chat for that day because I'm like, if you can't type in the chat because you busy, then you can't type in the damn chat. You know what I'm saying?
Can't sit with us.
I have a recipe section in this in the Discord that's not used. Hold on, there we go. Well, no, I'm sorry. I lied. It is used. Lilith is using it, but she's not giving any recipe. Actually, none of these ladies are giving recipes anymore. They're just showing pictures of their cakes. It's always cakes too. It's always something sweet. But anyway, all right. Okay, Laura says she'll post some entrees. Yeah, I mean, if you ladies, here's the deal, ladies. Like, I cook. I know how to cook. All right? So, therefore, but I'm a vegan, and I know y'all not interested in these recipes. But wait a minute. Somebody's in here is a vegan.
Why don't you post some entree recipes, some vegan entree recipes?
Because you guys are not vegan.
But it's interesting to see. Just post a recipe, something like vegan you eat. Just like an example. I mean, I don't eat meat all the time. I do eat dairy, of course, and eggs, but I also eat a lot of, vegetables, so.
Maybe you'll come.
Okay, I'll do it. I mean, I got a gazillion of them, but I never post them up because it's like, if you guys are not vegan, you're not going to use the recipe. So there's that. So Susanna says she's going to post some chicken recipes and veggie recipes. Y'all don't want to eat what I make. That's revenue. I agree with that one. Grace says I'm pescatarian, but I've added chicken to my diet a little to save money. Oh yeah, I was when on my way to go get my almond milk, I always have to pass by the butcher shop in Kroger. And because let me tell you, if you want to know, besides chicken, I do miss eating trout, salmon, and perch. I really miss eating those. Oh, and red snapper. Oh my God! Stop! Shh. Let me stop making those. Talking about those because I'm gonna make my stomach growl. Anyway, but I like to I like to walk by and look at the fish that they have and see what's on sale and what's not. Man, woo! I knew food was going to go up, but you can tell what is more nutritious by what has the highest price sales, because I noticed that the pork chops were cheap as hell, okay, but all the other fish, especially the salmon that was not like the farm raised, which I wouldn't, if you guys, I would never suggest you eat that, but the farm raised was way cheaper than the wild caught. So I ate ham in the first time in years yesterday. It was cheaper than salmon. Well, yeah, because pork is a scavenger, and it's not in high. You're not going to have a problem with the demand of that type of meat. So there you have it. Yeah, always get wild caught fish, farm raised. You know what I'm saying? Don't even mess with it. All right, ladies. So listen, I really enjoyed you all coming out. We will do this again in 2 weeks. I'm going to start collecting firemen pictures for the for the Guy Candy Fireman Edition. Still happy that we are getting rid of these losers from this channel. It's going to be a process. It's going to be a long process, but it's a process nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? I am happy to say that the women population is growing. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. It's just this is a long process because now that I have changed the format completely after starting this channel, like no politics on here. We're not, we're not dealing with any things catered to men. It's all about traditionalism. Now hold on, I just lied. We will refer to politics because we are talking about right leaning. We're not liberals here. So we will be focusing on why, it's best, why right leaners or right wingers or anybody who lean right tend to be, more happier than those. And I will do stuff like that. But as far as talking about the news or anything that's going on in politics, that's still going on my second channel. But when you completely gut your channel of all these subscribers that subscribe that you don't even want, that's the biggest problem I have. I have tens of thousands of subscribers I don't want here. Now, some of them will probably be dead. Some of them will probably be simping and just stay subscribed, even though they are not a part of our ideology or part of our traditional culture. They'll just stay. When I find them, I'll ban them, and they can just, talk without being seen, and their numbers are just are just showing. So that's something I'm going to be doing more often. But I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I have to take a break on the scripted videos for now because we have a debate panel coming up this Sunday, and that's a lot of work. So I just didn't have time to write a script, but we'll do one next week. Okay. All right, guys. So y'all want to say goodbye to everybody in the chat?
Bye, everyone. Bye, chat. Bye, taters.
Gabriella's going to be the only one to say goodbye, or is everybody just typing in the chat?
Says bye in Romanian. Bye, chat.
All right. Okay, guys. Everybody's in the chat typing, so I guess they're not leaving you. So I will see you all on the panel on my second channel for the political debates, and I will be back here. I'll post individual videos next week, starting with the interview that I had with BJ on Monday, and then I look forward to seeing you all then. All right, take care, and I see most of you all on Sunday, and everybody who's just here for this type of content, expect to see another live stream next Wednesday. All right, later, taters.